You guys are happy.
Thank you. Coach, congratulations, a first win, and your goalkeeper there keeping you in the game. Fantastic saves.
There's a lot of them who did very well. And it would be very unfair of me to say they did well only in this match. In all honesty, this team has been doing well. And those who had an opportunity to watch the match when we played at FNB, you can remember vividly the number of chances they missed. They were there. Sometimes you just need that luck. But indeed, Uspiso did very well, the keeper, pulled a lot of good saves. Anyway, he gets paid for that. But I was also happy with the way they defended, how they gave their bodies. And it is not easy to play Mopolokwane, it's hard to. But they coped well. Zwane as well in the midfield, Dlamini, I thought they put up a good shift. Knox Mutiz as well, even though he got subbed. Bamba as well. So I thought the general performance of the team was quite okay, except when we started to get tired, because obviously it's hot and we're working extremely hard. But we are just delighted with the result.
And Coach, having come in a couple of days, what was immediate, having come from Soweto and then coming to Polokwane, for this game, because not having a lot of time with the team?
Don't focus on the negative. We did not even look at what has been happening. In fact, we looked back at it and said, one of the reasons, in fact, the clip we played for them before we left the meeting room was about pain and growth. We were saying, what is the cost of a cup of coffee? Cost of a cup of coffee is about 30 rand. What is the price you pay for a cup of coffee? But what do you pay for growth? Pain is the cost for growth. So the pain they have gone through, no team in the Premier League has grown like this team because of the pain they went through. So sometimes we tend to not want to pay the price, and as a result you can't get the commodity. But the commodity is success. The cost for success is pain. So you could as well go through that pain so that you get your success. And that was a theme of our discussion. And then they embraced the theme, embraced the pain, and said, you know what, we have grown, we are better people than who we are. Because you learn more from a defeat than a victory. If we had won this match here, we had lost this match here, we would be living here having seen a lot of things that we're supposed to correct. But now, it's going to come down and think that, oh goodness me, everything is okay. It's only 2 days or so. And credit must be given to Mabuti Kanyeza, Lemusa Pulankulu, Komphela and the technical team. They did the work. You can't do anything in 2 days, except just to be there, maybe ease the pressure, and then try have a bit of influence in terms of energy. Look like you are relaxed, you are cold on the face, but your heart is burning, is on fire. It's part of life. You have to be more pretentious. If you're a coach and not an actor, you won't make it. At some stage, coaches must fake and fake until they make it. And this is what we did. You fake happiness when you're burning inside, and then it rubs off the players.
Coach, you spoke about being in the team for 2 days. How important was it for you to instill some energy in those players? Because surely they were not winning.
I think, first of all, we have to consider the level of risk. I spoke to a friend of mine before I went to Durban, and he said, Hendon, what if? Fear. If you're governed by fear, you'll go nowhere. But the fact that we knew that I had worked at Arrows before, and I know the chair ladies got support, he gives support to his coaches, and the guys who I was likely to be working with, and having looked at the team, look at the table, it was quite realistic to say, now man, relax, go in and help people who need help. Because I'm not doing anything currently, in all honesty. So I'll be sitting at my place, tossing and turning, going to training and coming back in. So for the period that you're available, you can help others. And I found this as an opportunity to go help. And I think it's gotten to a place where we connected a bit with those who had been with me before. And we connected as well a bit with those who just joined the club. And it was more seamless. It's not easy to get into an environment and work with people and pretend like, no, you've been together. So the emotional glue is quite a long way to go, but it clicked a little bit. So we can go on, consolidate on this result, and try see what more can we add on the table.
Coach, what do you think some of the things, the major things that you maybe need to change in this club, and you think that
I think this is a question that was asked earlier when I was doing a pre-match interview, that what is it that you have picked up, that you have observed? You can't make much observation in football in 2 days. The only thing that I considered was that the submission that is made by my colleagues is such that final third has been a problem, scoring goals has been a problem, and sometimes we also conceded goals unnecessarily. And then I said, okay, if that be the case, then we'll have to look after our rest defense when we are in attack. There were moments where in our attack, you could see there were like attackers who were free. A rest defense, we addressed there. And then rest attack, when you are defending, are you then in a position to regain the ball and find Nox Mutizo, find Wisdom Libamba, whoever. So rest attack important. From there, work on your 1v1s on the sides. So on the sheet of objectives for us today was, can we have a good rest attack, good rest defense, and have good one-on-ones on the sides? And if you were to ask me, they passed the test today.
Coach, you were there 2019, 20, you helped
I
them.
still remember
2019-20 season
yeah,
there.
before I went to Sundowns.
Yeah, before you went to Sundowns, you helped them survive relegation.
Okay.
This season, they are a little bit down there. They are not yet safe. Is Coach Steve Komphela ready and up to the task?
No, man, listen, you don't look back, even though people will tell you that it's always best to connect dots looking backwards. When you look at your life where you add reflecting backwards, you tend to get better. But we don't want to look far too much backwards in a negative way. But where we add, I think, I don't know the slots now. When you add 3 points on the 23 they had, should be 26.
Yeah.
And at 26 should be putting you very close to 8. And it's fairly open, because on top of us there were many 24s. So you're making 26, so you are in there. Somebody has to win to get to that level. And when you do that, it starts to inflict a bit of belief and conviction, and then players start to play without stress, and then results come a little bit easier. I think we're at a stage where, but nobody must own the success except them. This is their work, Lady Coach Sabon. I only came in and happened to be so lucky that on the day of my arrival, then the win comes.
Budi Kanyeza was not on the bench today.
Yes.
We were enjoying snacks with him that side.
Oh, he was having snacks.
Yeah.
Now he must come and account who's going to pay for that snack.
Why was he not on the bench?
He was suspended, I think, accumulation of yellow cards. Mabuti Kanyeza, even from his playing days, very intense. We are similar, very intense, but not in a bad way. But one thing that I picked up from Mabuti Kanyeza and Musa Bilankulu, they have grown tremendously. It's crazy. I worked with Bilankulu at under 23, 2005 at Ramamabolo. When you're sitting on a technical table and then you talk to these folks, you understand that, goodness me, these guys are so rich with knowledge. And you take pride that this guy I coached, he's now coaching with me. He was playing. So then he talks to leadership again. We question ourselves that, okay, in as much as I'm working in football, I'm earning a living, but how many people am I developing? Am I only in football for my position, or am I in football for development of others? And a list of players I coached before who are now coaches is crazy. And Mabuti Kanyeza is no different, Musa Bilankulu no different, and this credit goes to them. They have amazing submissions. Some of the things they say on our technical tables are just mind-boggling.
Coach, is this your kind of project? Because like earlier you mentioned that you had time, because obviously after not having a job, but then is this your kind of project? Also in some interview I've read where you said you don't want a job after Swallows, you want a project. Is this your kind of project?
I think one's age and experience in football gives him the indication that you have a responsibility to help develop projects. A job is a job. We earn a salary from a job. But I think even my kids are old enough that I should not feel so threatened that I'll lose my job and my kids will starve. The most concerning thing for any adult and any leader, you should go to a stage where you're saying it is beyond a job, it is about others, it is about a project, and a project belongs to a team. So you have to be a team player, and what contribution you bring is very important. So I love more to be part of a project than a job. I can have a job and survive alone, that's selfish. But in a project, you help others survive too.
How long is this project, Coach? Are you going to see off the season and start a new project with them
Project
again?
90 minutes war. Now we have to work, man, and improve situations and make players feel better. We have a primary responsibility. Listen, our people are going through a lot, man. Young kids are going through a lot. There's no hope, there's no this. So why don't we use football as a vehicle to effect, involve, impact, and change people's lives? We have that opportunity as human beings. Some of us should not be so sick. I'm gonna die in a couple of years, but when you look back when you're in your grave and looking up, what's gonna pride you? Nothing. People who grow old on their deathbed, they regret that I should have done more for others than myself. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna go as an individual. So what help do I have for myself when I'm gone? None. But the help that you have for others is the one that's gonna be transferred to others who come behind them. It becomes generational. Very important.
Coach, what you're saying, I mean, a lot of people look at you. I mean, I was checking, you've been coaching for 22 years, 10 clubs.
Yes.
You haven't really won big things. There's been youngsters who came through as coaches.
Okay.
And I'm listening to you speak now. Do you then look back at your career and say, I might not have won things, but I've made a difference in people's lives?
My
in the
response
game?
must be extremely measured, and I know exactly your line of thought. It is beyond thinking, it is more emotional, and it goes into the depth of a conversation that has to happen that most of us avoid. Go to Pep, go to Mourinho, go to Ancelotti, go to all these top coaches. They can show you every visible success, shining trophies in their cabinets, but they still remain empty. Then go to those coaches who will look back and say, okay, I'm Ferguson. How many coaches have I developed? Then he throws a full league of people he has developed. To me, the most important, and I'm saying this with utmost respect, invisible success means more than visible success. Visible and shiny success of trophies, I do have. 2004, Hopelary winner, Kosafa Kadi, Kabo, Cheesy, Lerato Chabango, and all that. I can mention them and mention them, but it's not okay, man. It's like now I'm calling myself. If I call myself, my phone will say number busy. So instead of doing that, try reflect otherwise, and also selflessness has a reward. Selfishness in its way. In as much as people are so selfish and they do get rewarded, the reward to selfishness is not the same as the reward to selflessness. Selflessness is the ultimate reward. The beauty when you look at things and then you see that, but this was a seed, and then you're looking at a forest. I could be looking in my cabinet, but what do they mean, man? But when you go out to goodness me, Paulos Masi, goodness me, Duncan Lichisa, oh, Lefronalo Siam Hibana, Musanya Tama Hibana, Vincent Kobola Hibana. There's a lot of guys, and even Lemoki 20 solos. I left Tiger Mutoto, Le Musanya Tama. Listen, Akiamo briefcase, I know of coaches we worked with. You would never get anywhere close to their briefcase. Laptop, how we at the pin for. They hide information like I'm telling you, it's like a pin code, your nuclear weapon. No, man. Open yourself up. Let others suck as much as they can, because the blood they suck out of you is a blood that's going to be transferred to others for their growth and development.